From all over Europe, 12 amateur and professional photographers have been selected to compete in an extraordinary photographic contest. 8 weeks, 8 completely different photographic challenges.
Can I come back tomorrow?
It's been a disaster.
They'll have to give it their best shot to impress the judges. Oliviero Toscani, acclaimed and controversial photographer from Italy.
I've seen too many of these photographic masturbation.
Caroline Hunter, Guardian Weekend magazine picture editor from the UK.
So much doesn't really engage me.
Darcy Padilla, American documentary photographer specializing in contemporary issues.
That's why you didn't do it, because you don't know.
Only one photographer will win the life-changing prize of €150,000.
I took that picture, mate.
Sorry. Much harder than I expected.
Who will be the next Sky Arts Master of Photography?
Wow, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Welcome back to Sky Arts Master of Photography.
Up to here, everything was okay. But now we are expecting excellence. And excellence is to go deeper in what you are really and what it is your real possibility.
For your next task, you'll be commissioned to take a photograph of a well-known actor for a feature in a magazine.
He has been in over 50 movies and TV series, has won a Golden Globe, a BAFTA, and was nominated for an Academy Award.
Have any of you ever done any celebrity shoots before? You have?
Yeah.
Who in particular?
I photographed Sir Paul McCartney and a well-known British comedian called Joe Brand, Tony Blair, I can't remember who else. I'm sure there are other people.
I think that's enough.
Yeah, okay.
Not bad list. You probably really want to know who this actor is.
Clive Owen. So girls and so boys. And that's your model.
Olympe, are you thinking about what you might do?
Well, I don't know because I don't know the location, but for sure, I want to have fun with him.
What kind of fun?
Maybe that's not for us to know.
I'm sorry.
Each of you will have 20 minutes to set up your lights and to take your picture.
You have to be able to read Clive Owen and decide what you want to say about him, what your reaction is to him, and in your style.
You're all going to shoot in exactly the same location.
And I know you really want to know what the location is, but we're going to keep that as a secret.
But you'll discover where this is just before the shoot.
So, one subject, one location, one picture, and I would have given you 1 minute, but they gave you 20. We will give you a reference of a celebrity picture. And the picture was shot in 1955 by Dennis Stock of James Dean in Times Square. It is a great picture because this man who died 60 years ago is still a star. Yet to interpret, you are the star, you are the celebrity, not your actor.
This is a photo of Paul Giamatti by Chris Buck. Chris Buck has a very unconventional way of seeing, and that's the beauty of this. He brings his own style to whatever he photographs.
Your task starts now.
The contestants need to learn as much as possible about Clive Owen ahead of the shoot, in order to come up with creative ideas and gain his trust quickly on the day.
I want to use his skills to my advantage. So I'd like to describe a character to him and get him to act that character. He may or may not want to do that.
I think that 20 minutes is enough. And what I want to do is go in there and strike up a relationship, some sort of rapport straight away.
Right.
I'll try not to rush things at the beginning, because we only need one photograph, so basically I can take 18 minutes of time to look at the place and chat with him, and just need 2 minutes to take a shot.
Sounds very confident.
If I stress myself, he will be stressed as well.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's 9 a.m. on task day, and the photographers are about to find out the location for the Clive Owen shoot. It's Rome's National Gallery of Modern Art. Home to Italy's largest collection of modern artworks, it displays about 1,100 paintings and sculptures.
I was extremely surprised when I saw the location because it really was so far from what I was expecting.
And now all of my ideas are confused.
Each of the contestants will have 20 minutes in one room of the museum where they will have the opportunity to work among masterpieces by artists of the caliber of Lucio Fontana, Jeff Wall and Pino Pascali. They can use the installations, photographs and paintings as a backdrop for their shots.
High ceilings, the white walls, and then all of this art around us is inspiring.
Only one element is missing: Clive Owen. The star of Children of Men, Closer and The Nick has arrived and is ready for the photo session.
I'm not the most animated subject when I'm photographed. I have to feel confident in what they're going to do.
First up is Gillian. It's been a while since our last celebrity shoot.
I wasn't nervous, but I am now.
Will she still have what it takes?
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
how
so
are you?
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. With my photography, I often try and create an alternate reality and try and give an idea of another meaning. So maybe,
In between them?
yeah, I think so, yeah. There's the actor Clive Owen, and then there's somebody who we don't really know. And come back a little bit, like one big step. So the idea was to communicate that by dividing his face using the mirror. Oh, dear me. Excuse me a moment. I had a problem with focusing when I was trying to shoot through the mirror. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about you. Thank you.
Focus and calm are the key elements needed in portrait photography. Sohail will have to keep this in mind when his turn comes.
Clive Owen is a very kind of mysterious figure, and I'm not sure how I can place him in this context. I'm going to have to think about it.
Okay. 1 minute. 30 seconds. We should do that.
Usually when you're doing a photo shoot, one of the key things is to try and get whoever it is you're shooting relaxed, and that helps you get the best pictures. And I felt very strongly the time pressure, and I felt for her because it is a limited amount of time.
Okay, so I want you to just look into the lens. It's so nice to meet you. Thank you very much. All the best.
Okay.
Winning Clive's trust is fundamental, and being an experienced photographer may not be enough to take a great portrait.
It was shit.
British amateur photographer Sohail may have found the solution.
But what I'm going to do is I'm hoping to interact with him quite a bit and hoping to provoke a reaction and see if I can break into the real Clive Owen. Is that Clive?
It is Clive.
Hi, Clive. Sohail.
How are you?
Lovely to meet you, man. So what I want to do, what I want to try to do, because you come from a very working class background,
Yeah.
I want to connect with the working class Clive. Can we work on that?
How are you proposing?
I don't know. It depends on how game you are. Are you willing to take your clothes off?
No.
You're not going to do that for me, right? Okay, so if you could just walk over there, right? What I thought we could do is rough you up a bit, okay, because you look too nice. I'm getting really jealous here, right? All the women are looking at you, right, saying it's really lovely. I want to get some aggression going. At one point, I tried to be a little aggressive. What are you looking at over there? I was trying to provoke him into getting a little riled and, you know, possibly upset. Can you give me that look like you can't stand me? Like, yeah. No? What are you doing, sort of look, yeah? Instead, what he did was just give me this kind of very embarrassed smile. You seem a little, got to use the right word, I don't want to annoy you too much. Just a little rigid, do you understand? But you're being very resistant, and understandably so. I'm going to have to work with this. How are we doing for time?
9 minutes.
9 minutes. You've got 9 minutes to put up with me.
It's just another oops on me. It's just another oops. How can it be?
Clive, could you just look into the lens, please? Thanks.
So Heel's move may have not been the smartest. Could this provide a further challenge for the other photographers? In the waiting room, to try and keep calm, Belgian dance teacher Olympe has organised a yoga session to relax her fellow contestants. Wojciech doesn't seem to need it, while Sohail could certainly benefit from it.
Do you know you don't look very English? Did people tell you that? That's why I think they're probably not going for you for the James Bond thing. Right? Give me something, right? I'm just an ordinary minion. It didn't work out very well for me. I don't do this for a living, by the way. I do this as a hobby, so it's just midlife crisis.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a university professor. I work for NYU, teach a course on contemporary politics of the Middle East. This is a side thing.
I've only got one thing to say. That was a long 20 minutes.
As the judges pointed out, the real challenge this week is directing Clive.
Today, I think you're gonna dance a bit with me, if that's okay.
Engaging with him without feeling intimidated by his presence.
I'm so nervous.
Don't be.
Those who manage to establish a connection and gain his trust will have a far greater chance of success.
You're not, predictable. That's what I think, actually. Maybe
it's a good thing.
I think so. I think so, yeah.
Now it is Cromwell's turn.
Can we take a picture with him?
With her?
Hopefully he'll be able to make Clive forget about the previous 20 minutes.
What funny face do you know to do?
I can't do funny faces.
And you're an actor?
I know.
Come on, you never did funny faces?
No.
Could you please do me a funny face? Come on. Like this. Malameo?
No.
Okay, will you, open your arms?
I could do that for you.
Oh, no, you can do that.
That looks a little weird.
Okay. You're just going to...
You're so bad.
I will pay you. Please.
He was constantly shooting all the time. We were talking, we were laughing, and that's often when you can grab something really good.
Bye.
Cromwell has managed to loosen him up a bit. Will he be more open to Olympe's ideas?
Did you ever jump? Like
I
this?
prefer not to jump.
Do you mind, putting your jacket just a little bit over your head?
That sounds a little crazy.
Okay. Too crazy? Too crazy? But do you mind going on the ground?
Like how?
As a dancer, for me the body tells much more than a face. Okay, good. Because in the language of the body, you can't lie. Can you close your eyes?
Yeah. Easily.
Easily. Don't fall asleep. Clive Owen said no to all the powerful things. So I think I was right to bring him in the fetus position, a position that is very instinctive. A little ball. You can close your eyes again.
She'd done a lot of homework. She obviously has some clear ideas about the angles and the shots. I like that, when people are confident and they think they've got it.
Okay. I'm done. It's good. Thank you.
Okay.
I hope it was not too crazy for you.
It was just crazy enough.
Just crazy. Okay, I'm happy that you're just this crazy enough that I could do these things. Ciao, ciao.
Olam's plan was certainly unusual.
Hi. Hey.
Will war photographer and world press photo winner Wojciech be as daring, or will his easygoing attitude be enough to win Clive over?
Right. Do you know how to fly?
Fly?
Fly. Just on your...
I prefer not to do the jump, I've got to be honest.
All right.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit just on later, when you're just starting to lose your balance.
Yeah. I understood what he was doing, and he got me to do something a little more animated than the others have. Say when?
When? Right now.
I look like I'm levitating.
You like it?
Yeah.
It's good. All right.
And I didn't have to jump.
Good. So once again, in here, in the white background. I was shooting with the 50 and a very long shutter speed, so Clive Owen was just moving his head.
All right.
Technically, when you shoot with the long shutter speed, everything that moves is moved on a picture. So you can recognize his face, but it's not obvious.
Right, let me see. I liked his attack on it. I thought he had a lot of strong ideas in terms of engaging me and getting stuff out of me. So I was very impressed.
Right, and let's do one more. Thumbs up. So we won't do it. Thanks, it's been a pleasure working with you. I never took this kind of picture, actually, so it's my first time, so I'm happy.
I'm glad it's over now, because I was really nervous.
I don't know how the pictures come out, but for sure I was able to let him laugh.
After Cromwell's playful approach and Olam's physical concept, Sous Vide has taken the judge's advice and is about to suggest one of the most ambitious ideas yet.
I had 3 goals in mind with this particular assignment: to engage Clive with a story, to really direct him as a character, and the third was to try and get a compelling and well-executed portrait.
Oh, yeah.
Good, thanks. How are you?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Good to meet you.
And you?
I'll ask you to sit down in a sec and close your eyes, and I'll describe a character and a context.
Okay.
And if it's cool, then for the next 18 minutes or so, you'll be this character. But
and then you want to shoot that
and then
character?
shoot that character, yeah.
Oh, that's an idea.
Your name is William Turner, and you're a dentist. You live in a comfortable, detached house in Hampstead, London, with your wife, 2 teenage daughters, and your dog, Midas. Last night, you made your 60-second kill. This began when you were just a boy. It was a morbid curiosity at first. A squirrel, a fox. And then it became an urge. You are a born killer. Supremely intelligent. Ruthless. Disarming. And always hungry.
I can do everything but the supreme intelligence.
So really, we're starting with your head.
What I'm learning about today is that you've got to do your homework in terms of thinking about what you want to do and how you want to get that.
Okay.
And he obviously had very, very clear ideas about what he wanted to try and execute. So when you want me to start?
Yep, go for it. Thank you. That was a bit bizarre, I'm sure.
It was fine.
To take a successful portrait of Clive Owen in just 20 minutes, our photographers need to have a clear idea, be confident and stay focused. But above all, they need to gain Clive's trust. So far, some of the contestants have been more successful at this than others. How will the remaining 3 approach the shoot?
And I just hope he is still comfortable and open-minded and still in a good mood. I would not ask you anything crazy, so no worries.
We like that.
Even before meeting Clive, I did feel connected in the sense that he's just a few years older than my father, and also he has 2 daughters who are very close in age to me. Hi, I'm Molly. It's lovely to meet you.
How are you?
Good, good. I think your 2 daughters are very close in age to me. I'm 18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17 and 20.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
I tried to approach him in a personal way. I asked him some questions. Which was your favorite character you had to play?
The best one is the next one.
I noticed that he was not into talking so much. I guess he was also tired. He was maybe also a bit exhausted. Nice.
I'd like to kind of roughen you up a bit, if that's okay.
In what way?
Hair, tie, jacket.
A little.
Yeah, a little, if that's okay.
A little.
Okay. Can I mess up your hair a little bit?
Yeah.
Molly's approach has worked. Now Clive is more willing to experiment with new ideas.
Is that okay?
Yeah. She had a very sort of easy, nice way about her. She was very straight.
Is that okay?
I like that. I tried to make it as short and painless for him as possible. Could you stand right in front of that? Could you move a little bit to your right, please? Very good. Soon you will be free.
She held certain positions for quite a long time, and it's quite hard to keep a sort of energy going sometimes.
Thank you very much. It's over. You are free to go.
Okay, can you look towards me? Look straight into the lens and really, really stare into the lens.
She's really impressively confident for one so young, you know, felt very sure of what she was going to do.
Stop. Done. That went by so quickly. Sorry about your hair.
No, don't worry.
Sorry.
Don't worry at all.
Engaging with Clive has been Molly and Sonia's main concern. Max is only 21 and already a professional with a portfolio ranging from reportage to fashion photography, but portraiture is not his speciality.
Hi.
Hey.
Max.
Clive.
It's a pleasure. Could you stand for me just in front of that wall?
Yeah.
Just very
Just
clean
the white?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just very clean white background. My first idea was just to take a close-up headshot. I would have preferred to use some more natural light, but when I got there was no windows, so that wasn't an option, so I went for the white wall. Just last night I watched the film where you play the ex-SAS guy.
Oh, yeah.
So just imagine I'm Jason Statham and I just punched you. In some ways, the pictures I took, they're very minimalistic, very clean portraits. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, don't look at the camera, just look past me on this side.
Yep. I thought he was very good. I thought he was very clear. He wasn't interested in the space, which is not necessarily a bad thing if it's about shooting a portrait. So he just wanted to get the best angle of the face.
How about sitting down like a boss, basically? Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Different lenses give you different perspectives. So the 50mm is very straight. You see what your eye would see. I'm just gonna use a wider lens. Using a wide-angle lens, you get much closer. Everything gets a bit round, and faces start looking weird, but it can look interesting. A telephoto lens, on the other hand, gives you a lot of depth in the background, and your subject will really stand out.
Max is so confident with his work that he can afford to finish 2 minutes earlier than the 20 minutes allotted.
Okay, cool. I think we've got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
It was nice. I think I've got it.
Some of the best photographers I've worked with are very sure when they've got it, and they don't necessarily need the whole allotted time because they're confident. So I was impressed with his confidence.
But Portraying Clive for a feature in a magazine hasn't been easy for the contestants.
I wanted to be a little bit more dynamic than usual predictable portraits.
Some were focused and weren't afraid to direct him.
I'm really glad to have had the opportunity to direct Clive as an actor.
I hope it's gonna be okay.
Others were overwhelmed and couldn't cope with the time pressure nor make the most of this incredible location.
So it was very difficult breaking into him.
Only one thing is certain. There will be no room for excuses when presenting their pictures to the judges.
Yeah, here it is.
The contestants are back in the studio for the editing task. They've been asked to take one picture for a feature in a magazine, but today the judges have a surprise in store for them.
Hello, photographers. For this episode, we've decided to do things differently. We think it's really important for you to be able to edit your work as well as take pictures. So there'll be no guest photographer to help you with your edits. You will be expected to do your own editing. So it will be up to you to choose 5 images, and out of those images, just one that you will present to us.
How much will the other images be taken into consideration?
We'll look at the one image, and I think the other images will give us a feel of how much of a connection you may have made with Clive Owen, and it will tell us whether we feel that you've chosen the best image.
What the judges asked for is very demanding. Usually an image for a magazine feature is selected by a photo editor. Doubling their efforts is the most efficient way to test the contestants' abilities. Will they be able to make the right choices on their own?
I think it's a good thing that we can show also the other pictures, because Annan had different IDs, and I'm happy that we'll be able to see these IDs.
One of the things that you need to keep in mind is distance and detachment from your own work. And I think that's probably one of the most important components of good editing.
He's an actor, you never really see who he is, but through his eyes you can actually see the human behind the facade.
You know what this guy says about black and white?
No.
He says it's just a way of covering up a bad photo.
Oh.
Editing time is over. Now to the final phase, post-production.
In his eyes, I brought out the shadows to bring some color into them and also increase the clarity to get a bit of a glint in his eyes. For the skin tone, I wanted to make sure that the white balance was done properly, because a lot of the image is white paper. So I brought down some of the reds and the yellows in his face.
Genius. He's a really nice guy, isn't he? Oh, wow. I didn't notice that.
Right.
It's super changed.
What did you do to his eyes?
I changed it to black and white. I increased the contrast, strong blacks, strong whites. I brought out the eyes, so I highlighted the eyes. I lightened up the background to have a very clean and white background.
I put my picture in black and white in order to make it more stronger and give it more depth. I want to make the spotlight that the natural sun was giving me more bright, and I hope they will like it.
As well as the one photograph selected for presentation, the judges can also ask to see the contestants' shortlist. This is in order to establish if they were able to identify their best shot.
We are really looking forward to seeing what you accomplish.
Conwell? Hi.
What I find interesting in this picture is the irony between the pictures in the background and him that is laughing.
And how did you make him laugh?
I was asking him to do funny things, so like imitating some of the poses he has to do, but he didn't want to do it.
The only thing I like about this picture is his laugh. All the rest I find it complicated. But an actor should be acting. Huh? And that would have been very tough with him. You are the celebrity when you take a picture, in a way. So if an actor is decided the way you should photograph him, you're going to do a bad movie and a bad photograph.
But the good thing is, I think you made him laugh, and that was your intention.
Good.
And I think that the laugh looks spontaneous. The only thing that matters is the result.
The thing that kind of concerns me is just kind of placement of where he is. I mean, you're doing a portraiture. You can set him wherever you want.
Can we see the other images?
There is a consistency there. The one in the middle, I really like it.
He
That's
looks
a strong
great
picture.
what he's wearing. It pulls you in, makes you wonder what's going on.
That's much stronger than the one you chose there. Thank you.
So
It was a very challenging experience. I wanted to go in there and sort of rile him up, get him really annoyed, because I wanted a bit of aggression. I ended up with the sort of image that he likes to do, which is very calm and composed and suave and sophisticated. Not the kind of image I wanted, but that's him, I guess.
Yeah, he's really pissed off of you. There is not really a relation. He's just waiting that you finish the picture.
I think you're right, yes.
You know, to take a portrait, you have to have your charisma coming through.
Yes.
And if you don't get your charisma coming through, you'll never get anything.
I agree.
Every detail is really important,
yeah.
Especially when it's a standalone image, and by that I mean it's the only image that's going to be on the page. Everything is going to be scrutinized.
where you've cut the legs, the hand, is really distracting. And so what happens is I'm just really going to where his belly is.
And then the way you cut it with that hand in this scratch, I don't know, he's really scratching his future there. I don't know.
Can we see the other pictures that you had? Or
not much. No, I think the one you chose is the best, or the worst.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My picture wasn't great, and I think the judges' comments were also reasonable. I pretty much agreed with everything they said. I think they were spot on.
Olymp?
I had different ideas. With some ideas, he did it, and some ideas were a little bit too crazy.
And this image is not crazy enough. What is? It's crazy, but not really. It's nonsense.
Well, I think it's
Sorry.
I think it's interesting. I like the fact that there's a concept.
Which
the
is
fact
the
that you persuaded him to lie on the floor and have his title one side. I mean, there's a strength in that.
Would you run this on a cover?
No, it's not a cover image. If there was a concept and you were using more than one image, this would be an additional image. Can we see the other images, Darcy? Do you?
Yeah, completely. Let's go. Oh, okay.
The one in the middle is the best for me.
Yeah,
the one in the middle is fantastic. I killed you, I shot you. That's an idea.
His face is better. I think the arm
his
looks
face is
clumsy.
better. Yeah.
And I think that the jacket is a mess.
Yep.
So,
Great. It has to be a mess.
but not in
It has to be a mess,
not in
yeah.
a good way. I think she chose the best image.
No,
I do.
At all.
Thank you. Tuvid, could you step up, please?
I wrote a short script and a character description, and I spent the first 7 or 8 minutes trying to get his emotional and intellectual juices flowing, because he's an actor at the end of the day.
It's kind of an editorial picture of a movie. You made him doing what you wanted. So it is having a personality, tell the actor, please do this, that, and that. And he managed it. So I really do appreciate that.
The styling of it, how it's constructed, it could have been a bit more carefully considered. I just think the shape of the tear perhaps could have been a bit more refined.
It's a lot of dead space around that paper. I think that you could have been more careful with the way you were composing this and where you placed him. I mean, you have 20 minutes. That's a long time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if you're working in this, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Instead of trying 4 or 5 different approaches that I did, I should have probably focused just on one. I should have been more careful about how the space in the image was used.
Gillian, please. You got out of space, you got out of the museum, you got out of the sculptures that would have been very good too, but say, no, I want to do a piece of art out of it. And I appreciate that.
The problem that I have with this image is that I don't really recognise him as Clive Owen. If you were shooting this as a commission, you'd have to really consider that.
That's fair enough.
Molly, it's your turn.
Hello.
I like the fact that he looks so rugged in this picture. Background, I think, could have been a bit cleaner, and perhaps the angle of his head could have been stronger as well.
Is that him on that side area, like a shadow? Yeah, I think that would have been really beautiful to include and would have helped your eye kind of move throughout the image a little bit more.
Okay, Wojciech? I like the blur, but when you think so far, then you have to have a real expression. In 20 minutes, if you click 10 times one after the other, the 10 picture will be different.
Yes, definitely.
It could have had really the soul come out of it.
Right.
And here is not really the soul coming out.
Right.
Can we see the other images?
It's incredible how in little space you can infinite picture, huh? For sure you read it well. Max, please.
I tried to take a picture which actually had a chance at being published in a magazine, and I think this picture represents that quite well.
Would you say that you made an emotional connection?
No, I didn't. But that wasn't really what I was looking for, to be honest.
I think it's very well done. It's very efficient. I could see this sitting in a magazine.
I like that he's looking to the side. And I think the shallow depth of field and the falling off on the ears and parts of the suit work for keeping us in that gaze, and then he takes us this way.
See, it doesn't take much. It takes little, but little is a lot. Make it simple. Make it so simple that everybody could say, I could have done it, but I didn't do it. You did it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was worried that the picture might be a bit too simple or too boring for them, because some of the other contestants had some really creative pictures. But yeah, they liked it, so I'm very happy about that.
Sonia, we're ready for you.
During I was shooting him on the couch, I noticed this natural light falling in on this wall. So I went there and I chose that.
What disturbed me here is the lack of courage to say, okay, what is in the shade, I don't want to see.
Yep.
I just want to see what is in the sunlight.
Okay.
Do you know how you would do that? How would you change this to make it look darker and lighter?
I would have changed within the middle tones. I mean, because it is within the middle tones.
In the camera?
whole background. No, in the post-editing.
No. That's why you didn't do it.
Okay.
Because you don't know. Yeah. You just adjust your ISO and you adjust the aperture and the shutter, and you make a different exposure, and you expose for the very bright part, and you make it a different tonal range for yourself. But you don't do that in post. You do it when it's in front of you. What makes a really good photograph is knowing the camera and knowing how to choose the way you're going to see the light.
Okay.
Thank you.
The presentation is over, and it's time for the judges to decide who is going to leave the competition.
Okay.
For me, one of the weakest was Sohail. Clive just looks completely pissed off in that image. I wonder what the dialogue was there.
I wanted to like this picture. I just felt that he looks so bored. I think there's a real passiveness about it that just ends up falling apart for this reason.
And Sonia's, there's just this very blank stare from Clive Owen to her. There's no emotion, there's no soul in this.
The worst one for me is Olymp. This
Really?
time she really missed the whole thing.
But she used the space in a way that some of the others didn't seem to.
I really did appreciate what Wojciech was trying to do. That idea was really fascinating.
Max's image, it stands out because technically it's the most accurate.
You like, and I like it too, because market-wise, you're the one who worked the best. That's why magazines don't sell anymore. They all look the same, because they all conform to the kind of photography.
Shall we go and tell the others?
Okay.
Photographers, it has been difficult to choose both best pictures and the least successful ones. In the end, there was one image that we felt worked much better than all the others. And this image was yours, Max. We felt that this was a strong image that you executed well. It was simple, but it was very efficiently and well done. And I could easily see this image being used in a magazine.
Thank you. I didn't expect to be the only good one. Well, to be honest, I don't quite think I got it right. I just think I got it better than the others.
There were two works that didn't convince us.
The first one is yours, Sonia. It's just very flat on the emotional level. The other thing that was problematic, it's really the exposure. I just wish that you would have thought about that when you were photographing it, not so much in the post.
It was exactly these things that I was worried about, like the ISO. I was thinking about it right afterwards, but in the moment I was not thinking clear, so I had trouble with this. I don't come from a very technical background. I use the camera as a medium in order to show something, and so I maybe still have a little bit of trouble sometimes with the camera itself.
And the second least successful picture is yours, Sahel. That it's really important that the subject looks at least engaged or connected with you. His gaze looks not only passive but bored.
I was trying really hard to annoy Clive Owen, but I needed to try a very different approach.
But this is already very hard things to do. Tell to somebody that has to leave. Unfortunately, so hell you have to leave.
Why your photo ends up being the photo that was the worst is purely that composition and his sloppiness and all of that information in the foreground that was just really hard to get over to see him.
I was not proud of the image. I accept, of course.
I would just like to underline the fact that, Sahel, you were not a professional photographer, you were an amateur photographer. I hope you have enjoyed the experience, and I hope that it will help you to become a better photographer.
It happened it was also the best in the last task.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, great. So, some people here have been mediocre all the time. So, go ahead, take picture.
Thank you, Olivier.
We'll see you all on the next assignment.
I don't think it's going to change my approach to photography. I don't intend to do professional projects or shoots. I shoot for myself because I enjoy shooting.
It's probably the right decision.
Next time on Master of Photography, things are hotting up.
Tell a story that expresses your idea of erotica.
A new task with an unexpected twist.
Try and keep as still as possible. I know it's awkward.
No, okay, sorry.
And the judges are not impressed.
I find it stupid. Yes, stupid.
And the photographer who will have to leave us is